Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 23, Text 16. Khani akashe dravam toye.
Khane akashe dravam toye.
Yatha sthanam vibhakashah.
Yatha sthanam vibhakashah.
Shitim ambhasi taddejase.
Shitim ambhasi tat tejasi.
Ado vayo nabhasi amum.
Ado vayo nabhasi amum.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In this way, according to the different positions of the various parts of the body, Pṛthu Maharaj merged the wholes of his senses with the sky, his bodily liquids such as blood and various secretions with the totality of water, and he merged earth with water, then water with fire, fire with air, air with sky, and so on. In this verse, two words are very important. Yathasthanam vibhagasha. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 5th chapter, Lord Brahma clearly explained to Narad how the creation took place. And he explained one step after another the proper divisions of the senses, the controller of the senses, the objects of the senses, and the material elements. And he also explained how they are created one after another. The air from the sky, the fire from the air, the water from the fire, the earth from the water, etc. So, 2nd Canto, we heard about the creation, how the creation happens. So, who's the controller of the senses?
Krishna.
Yes, and what's his name? When he's called the master of the senses, what is his name?
It's in M.
Rishikesh. Rishikesh. Rishikesh.
Oh, Rishikesh. Okay.
Yeah, master of the senses. So the division of the senses. What are the division of the senses? The working senses, the knowledge acquiring senses. So, which are the knowledge acquiring senses? How do we
Eyes,
get knowledge? Yes, eyes.
ears,
Mm-hmm.
nose,
Mm-hmm.
the touch skin,
Mm-hmm.
and the fifth one is skin, tongue,
Tongue.
Yeah. And then what are the working senses?
hands,
Mm-hmm.
legs,
Mm-hmm.
genitals,
Mm.
and the working.
Evacuation and reproductive, right?
Yeah. And the mouth.
And it's legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speech. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the objects of the senses.
See here, is it that?
Hearing,
Yeah.
touch,
Form.
sight,
Hearing, touch,
Yeah. That's
sight,
right.
taste,
Hearing, touch.
smell.
Yeah.
taste,
And the material element.
and the material elements
Earth,
are
water,
water, fire.
air, fire, space. I mean, earth, either.
Yeah. Thank you. So what is the first element that is created?
Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
The
not
ether.
earth. The sound,
Yeah, sound. And then the ether is created. Then from ether, air is created. That's what it's saying. So ether is the sky, right? From sky, the air, from air, fire, and from fire, water, from water, earth. So first is the most subtle. The sky is the most subtle, and then gradually it gets more and more gross. So in the sky, what is the quality? Sound, you said, right? So what is in air?
Touch.
Touch and sound.
No.
Touch and sound. And then in fire,
Light and
fire is form, because we can see.
and heat.
See, no, we can see fire. So form,
Yeah,
form
form.
plus sound plus touch.
Okay, so the other three are going to be in the next one.
Yes,
They are
yeah,
there and the one more is added always.
yeah, that's right. And then in water,
Touch.
You can taste.
yes, that's right. So there is sound, there is touch, there is form, and there is taste.
Yeah.
And then in earth,
Smell.
Touch.
yes, fragrance is added. Yes. So yes, touch, sound,
Sound,
form,
form,
taste,
taste.
and fragrance. We can smell the earth also. So like that. You can see one quality is added. As the elements get more and more gross, one quality is added. So it is important to know thoroughly the process of creation as it applies to this cosmic manifestation. Similarly, this body is also created according to the same process by the Supreme Lord. So these material elements which are outside, and our body is also made up of these elements, no? Earth, water, air, fire, ether. The personality of Godhead, after entering the universe, creates the cosmic manifestations one after another. Similarly, the living entity, after entering a womb of a mother, also collects his gross and subtle bodies, taking ingredients from the totality of sky, air, fire, water, and earth. So the gross body is made up of?
Earth, water, air, fires, ether,
Yeah. And the subtle body?
Mind, intelligence.
mind, intelligence, false ego.
That's right. So what does it mean when we say somebody is having his ghostly body? Somebody's become a ghost means what does it mean?
He's without the gross body.
That's right. He has the subtle body, but he does not have the gross body. That's right. The words yathasthanam vibhagasha indicate that one should know the process of creation and should meditate upon the creative process inversely, and thus become free from material contamination. So in Bhagavatam, second and third canto, this process of creation is explained again and again for us to understand that this material world is a Krishna's energy and how he's creating this material world. To help us understand we are not this material body, we are the spirit soul. And the relationship between the material world and Krishna. When we can understand, because we can only see this material world. If we can try to understand Krishna's position, it becomes easier to understand Krishna's position in the creation, how he's creating, how he's entering every universe, how he's looking and glancing over the. So, what is the function of Mahavishnu? What does he do?
Plans.
Yeah, he glances, right? What happens with his glance?
when he glances over the materials that are already available, they start,
Mm.
churning
Yeah.
starts, like it starts to do the
The
function.
activity starts, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And also by his glance, he puts us living entities inside this material world, right?
Yeah.
And then Garbhodakshay Vishnu. What does he do? Garbhodakshay
Garbhodakshay Vishnu enters into each universe,
Vishnu. That's right.
and then Shirodakshay Vishnu enters into every atom.
That's right. Yes. So the Paramatma is the Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Mm-mm. And in every planet, Shirodakshay Vishnu lives on the ocean of milk. And it's this Shirodakshay Vishnu that all the demigods approach whenever there is any issue that they cannot handle. When Brahmaji cannot issue any, cannot solve any problem, which needs higher, like which needs the attention of Lord Vishnu, it's there he goes to meet this Paramatma, Shirodakshay Vishnu, on Shvetadvip. Okay. So reading on it. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Who is Garbhodakshay Vishnu? Vishnu himself or demigods?
He's Vishnu himself. He's Vishnu himself. Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu is the same. He's called the Purush avatar. It's Lord Vishnu.
Okay. Okay.
Indriyeshu manastani tanmatreshu yatho bhavam
Tantamatreshu
Yatho
yatho
Bhava
bhutadinamuni utkrishya
Bhutadina Muni
Krishya
mahati atmani sandade.
Mahati Atmani Sandhya.
Sandhati.
He amalgamated the mind with the senses and the senses with the sense objects according to their respective positions, and he also amalgamated the material ego with the total material energy Mahatattva. In respect to the ego, the total material energy is sundered into two parts, one agitated by the mode of ignorance and the other agitated by the modes of passion and goodness. Due to agitation by the mode of ignorance, the five gross elements are created. Due to agitation by the mode of passion, the mind is created. And due to agitation by the mode of goodness, false egoism or identification with matter is created. So this we had read in the second canto, that how first Mahavishnu he glances and these three modes, goodness, passion and ignorance, they start the activity begin, they get agitated. So the Mahatattva agitating with ignorance, and we are getting the five gross elements. Agitation with passion, we are getting the mind. And agitation of the goodness, the false ego is created. The mind is protected by a particular type of demigod. Sometimes the mind, mana, is also understood to have a controlling deity or demigod. In this way, the total mind, namely the material mind, controlled by material demigods, was amalgamated with the senses. So we had also heard that how for every sense there is a demigod controlling it. The mind is also controlled by a particular demigod. The details was given in the second canto, second or third canto, when the creation, when we were reading. The senses in turn were amalgamated with the sense objects. The sense objects are forms, taste, smell, sounds, etc. Sound is the ultimate source of the sense objects. The mind was attracted by the senses, and the senses by the sense objects, and all of them were ultimately amalgamated in the sky. So the sound, how we had studied that the sound was created, and then how with sound, gradually, everything was created by the agitation of the modes. So by the sound, we can get everything. So the spiritual sound is the Hare Krishna mantra, and we can get everything by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. The creation was so arranged that cause and effect follow one after another. The merging process involves amalgamating the effect with the original cause. Since the ultimate cause in the material world is Mahatattva, everything was gradually wound up and amalgamated with the Mahatattva. So, first the Mahatattva is there. And then from Mahatattva, false ego is created, mind is created. How everything was gradually created. So the winding up process is also happening like this. It's going in that order then, from the most gross to the most subtle. This may be compared to Shunyavad or voidism, but this is the process for cleansing the real spiritual mind or consciousness. This may be compared to Shunyavad or voidism, but this is the process for cleansing the real spiritual mind or consciousness. I'm not sure what is the significance, how we compare it to voidism. Yeah. Anyway, when the mind is completely washed off all material contamination, the pure consciousness acts. Right now, our mirror of the mind has gotten all this material desires. We are thinking we are the body. We have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. And when this mind can be completely washed off of all this, our pure consciousness, original consciousness will be revealed. A sound vibration from the spiritual sky can automatically cleanse all material contaminations, as confirmed by Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpana Marjana. We need only take the advice of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chant the Hare Krishna mantra to cleanse the mind of all material contamination, and this may be considered the summary of this difficult verse. So Srila Prabhupada is making it easy for us to practically understand what can we do. We chant the Hare Krishna mantra to clean the mind, to take away all the dust. And what is the dust? All our material contamination, our identification with the matter. All that can be cleaned by chanting Hare Krishna mantras. That's the spiritual sound vibration. As soon as the whole material contamination is washed away by this process of chanting, all desires and reactions to material activities become immediately vanquished, and real life, peaceful existence begins. Real life, peaceful existence begins. Because so this is the point of liberation. Cheto Darpana Marjana. Immediately one gets liberated, and then begins the real life. Right now we are all this, we are in the body concept of life, thinking we are the body, and that's the reason we suffer. We've forgotten our relationship with Krishna. When we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, all this material dirt is washed away. In this age of Kali, it is very difficult to adopt the yogic process mentioned in this verse. Unless one is very expert in such yoga, the best course is to adopt the ways and means of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Yeah, for us, we don't know the science of how to how to merge one element into another. How can we merge the earth into the water, merging the water into the fire, fire into the air, air into the sky. Gradually, how? We don't know how to do all this. So, but practically what we can do, we can chant. We can chant. Thus, one can gloriously become free from all contamination by the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just as life in this material world has its beginning in material sound, similarly, a spiritual life has its beginning in this spiritual sound vibration. So at first the sound was created, no? And then the ether, then air, then touch, all like that gradually. So sound is the foundation. So here Prabhupada is helping us explain that our spiritual life can begin with spiritual sound, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Krishna says, I'm the sound in ether. He says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the sound in ether. So by the sound, all our necessities are fulfilled. When we were reading the creation part, that's what was mentioned. Because from sound, everything was beginning. Sound came ether, came air, water, fire, and earth, and how all the things that we see is just a combination of all these things. And it's coming from sound. So our spiritual life can also begin with sound. Is that okay?
Yes.
I think let's stop here because we barely have any time. Yeah? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.